Emily Dickinson, Her Vision of Spirituality. Although Dickinson wrote over 18 poems and had many themes, one of the main themes that stand out the most among her writing is of spirituality. Dickinson grew up in the 19th century where Christianity was the ruler of faith. Although her family had a strong belief, she always rebelled against the doctrine. As Glenn Hughes states, of course, as is well known, the spiritual explorations detailed in Dickinson's poetry manifest an ongoing struggle with and strong aversion to many core tenets of the Christian religion to which her family and the great majority of her friends and acquaintances subscribed. So even though her family had strong Puritan faith, she decided to write about things that she believed in. We can start to explore in her poems how she felt and observed the world. In her poem 256, Dickinson states, "Some keep the Sabbath going to church, I keep it staying at home." This means to me that she felt that to believe in God, she didn't have to go to church every day, and that she felt that her belief in God was nobody else's business but her own. That didn't mean that she didn't believe in God, it just meant that she believed in her own way. In the time and the day that Dickinson was alive, it was unheard of to believe this way, especially from someone that came from a Puritan family. Many have come to speculate that Dickinson's poems have come to show her as a pastoral theologian. A writing by Carol Cook, Emily Dickinson, poet as pastoral theologian, she gives us permission to facilitate between faith and doubt, to be nimble in our believing, and to stretch our pastoral imaginations. As many of her poems state, she doesn't want you to blindly follow the Bible, but have a sense of what you think is the truth. Dickinson believed that not everything can be known from a book. As Hughes states, Dickinson believed as a reality that is a mystery to human intellect, as beyond of meanings and truths that we cannot ever know, that above all structures and guides her lifelong spiritual quest, it is this that grounds her outlook on the distinctive peculiarities and challenges of the human condition, her understanding of self or soul, her relationship with the natural world, her grapplings with the idea of God, and her attitude toward Christian doctrines, preachings, and presumptions. Meaning that just because she understood God and she understood her attitude doesn't mean that she has to believe the same way that the Christian doctrines preach and all the presumptions that people make about God. She was looking for her own way to believe and her own quest. Dickinson has many examples in her poetry to prove her belief in spirituality and how she felt about religion. In one of her poems, she states, "Heavenly hurt it gives us. We can find no scar, but internal difference, where the meanings are." Dickinson used to love dashes and capitalized letters to put more emphasis on her meanings. The line, "where the meanings are," is a great example to show that she believes in a higher power but does not understand all the meanings that are shown. Meaning that even though it states in the great book doesn't exactly mean that that's how it's supposed to be. In conclusion, Dickinson uses her poetry to express how she felt at the time. She believed in many things and uses her words to describe religion the way that she saw it and understood it. In many respects, this made her a possible theologian of the time and opened a new way to look at the world and religion. Spirituality for her didn't mean that she didn't believe in God, but the way she believed was her own. I think it's important to understand that in Dickinson's work, she does speak a lot about God. She does explain a lot about her faith and how she believed in her faith and why it was important to her. And even though her family was very devout for this time and period, it was very difficult for people to understand the difference between spirituality and how to believe in God at the time. And I think that she opened a lot of people's eyes to a different possibility of believing. We're excited.